September 11th, 2001, changed America forever.
We saw a shadow, it looked like a plane. Next thing we know, it was boom, boom, and the floor started shaking.
Hey, put your mask on.
Hijacked planes struck the World Trade Center.
The Pentagon.
And crashed in Shanksville.
Panic, evacuations, gridlocked traffic turned major cities like Cleveland upside down.
But quickly the nation banded together.
We're prepared to offer any assistance from the 3 divisions of the Cleveland Public Safety Department.
The thousands of lives lost will never be forgotten.
We remember 10 years later.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for this special edition of News Channel 5. I'm Danita Harris, reporting live at Ground Zero. Leon Bibb is live at the Pentagon, and Lee Jordan is live in Shanksville. Throughout this next hour, we will look back at the events of 9/11 and explore how our lives have changed. I am here at Ground Zero, and as you can see behind me, the 2 sunken pools with the waterfalls, a sacred space that will forever commemorate the lives that were lost here. Most people who come by it say it's a powerful feeling. As you look at the waterfall this evening, as the light lines the water, 2,983 names are inscribed along those walls. This is the 10th anniversary of 9/11, and I have been here all day talking to people, hearing their memories, hearing their thoughts about how America is 10 years now. Right now I'm going to go to Leon Bibb, who is live at the Pentagon. Leon?
Thank you, Danita. For the 9/11 commemoration in Washington, D.C., I'm doing the reporting here. This is certainly one of the centering points of our story of 10 years ago, 9/11. I'm reporting from outside the Pentagon, just across the way over there. You can see it over my shoulder. This is the headquarters of the U.S. Defense Department, headquarters of the American military, the Pentagon. This is also where terrorists deliberately crashed a hijacked jetliner, September the 11th, 2001. Here, 189 people died, some of them on that jetliner, some of them inside the Pentagon building itself. America certainly remembers 9/11, and so do we. We now take you to Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Lee Jordan handles that part of the story.
On that clear September morning 10 years ago, as the World Trade Center crumbled and the Pentagon burned, tiny Shanksville, Pennsylvania, became forever linked with the terrorist attacks and a special brand of heroism that cut the hijackers' plan short.
Suddenly there was unexplained, very loud explosion sound that shook my house, even at that distance. The windows rattled. I made my kids run outside with me. It didn't seem safe to be inside.
Donna Glessner has spent her life in Shanksville and lives about 3 miles from the spot where Flight 93 went down. She's been a volunteer ambassador for the site, there to give information and support to visitors and family members of Flight 93 passengers and crew.
The family members that visit here, we've come to know them well, and they us, and I often say to these folks they're the nicest people I never should have met.
Up until now, most visitors viewed the site from this fence on the western overlook. Now the completed first phase of the memorial brings you much closer to the final resting place of Flight 93, the heart of the memorial. The point of impact marked by a large sandstone boulder. A common field one day, a field of honor forever.
This is a place where you can honor the passengers and crew. It's a place where you can bring a younger generation that doesn't have a memory of that day and help them understand what September 11th meant to the nation. It's a place where you can be inspired by their example. It's a place for self-examination. And you think about, am I living my life in the best possible way? What would I have done if I had been asked to do what they were asked? Am I living a life worthy of the sacrifice they made here?
Lee Jordan reporting for us from Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where at this hour the family members of Flight 93 are leaving the site for the first time after seeing the new memorial there for the first time. We will be hearing from Lee in just a couple of minutes live from that site in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Thank you for being with us tonight, and we want to remind everyone that we are live streaming this special so you can watch it on your smartphone, tablet, or on newsnet5.com. And our Facebook page also open for your thoughts on the events surrounding this anniversary. Many of you sharing your thoughts on where you were on that Tuesday morning 10 years ago and what it is you will be doing this weekend. Lisa writes to us that she is going to be doing some baking and then taking it to a fire station on Sunday to thank them all for what they do. Ava says she will be saying a prayer and hope the younger generation will remember just how wonderful our country is and respect all police and firefighters. Barbara puts the day in perspective. She writes that she will be attending the call to duty ceremony for her stepdaughter, who will be deploying soon. And along those lines, Joan says that she will be having a family get-together for her 2 grandsons who will be deploying for Afghanistan this week, putting this event into perspective. Log on, let us know what you will be doing and your thoughts on this day. And while you're online, be sure to check out our special Remembering 9/11 section on newsnet5.com that we will be updating all weekend long. It is a comprehensive look into what we went through as a country, not only on that day, but in the 10 years since, along with live streaming video you'll be seeing from many of the memorials planned over the weekend. That's only on newsnet5.com. Well, September 11th, of course, one of those generation-defining moments, a day forever frozen in our minds, what it is we saw, felt, and struggled to comprehend. For Governor John Kasich, the events of that day remained etched in his memory, as do the sights he witnessed in the days and weeks that followed. Kasich was working in television at the time and was sent to Ground Zero to cover the rescue efforts.
It was absolutely surreal and horrific. I was there when they had people searching on the concrete with these big, long sensors for sound. These police and these firemen, I mean, they didn't sleep, they didn't eat, and they were just exhausted. They just kept looking and hoping.
And a little bit later in the show, we will hear from former U.S. Senator George Voinovich, who was inside the U.S. Capitol when the attacks began. Right now, we want to go back to Lower Manhattan to Danita Harris, who joins us live again from Ground Zero. Danita?
Well, we are just getting started. Stay with us as we mark the 10th anniversary of 9/11.
But as I started to run, this explosion, this blast just caught up with me. I was enveloped in a huge cloud of dust, and all the lights went out. It was completely black. And the thought that went through my head that point was, so this is how I'm going to die. I really thought that was the end of my life. And again, for the second time that morning, I cried out to God to save me. And in His mercy and grace, He did.